Alright guys, you're with The Good Place Season 2, Episode 3. So the deals are finally getting made. We got Michael, who's breaking it down. And he may be a little late for this, because we're not getting, these aren't the characters that we know.
That's
how many resets we have?
Yeah, that's a major problem I have, actually.
The characters that I liked, I don't know if I like them as much anymore.
Yep.
But I do think there's been a couple of funny John Yu moments here and there that people did say.
Are you turning around? All right, forget about everything else you just said. Put 3 pins in those other 3 important topics. Let's skip ahead. Why do you not hate? Hey, what did he do here that you don't hate him? I hated him more in this episode.
I don't even have a reason why. Like over the last couple episodes, though, he's.
I have a note here. I still hate Jason. Always trust guys in a bow tie or whatever. That's literally one of my notes for this episode.
There's something about him in the and I won't say that he had a line this episode that
he's wearing you down.
But in the last 3 episodes, there's been a couple of decent lines from him that have made me waver slightly. I don't say I like him yet, but I'm not on my full hatred that I was earlier.
Don't let me influence you or corrupt your opinion. But you disgust.
If I had
disgust me.
If I had a single line to say why, I would let you know. But since I don't, it can't. It's not obviously. It's not oh, I love this guy now.
No, so I've had almost the opposite.
It might even be that everybody has gotten a little worse, and that might let him shine a little more.
Relatively, he's not as bad.
Yeah, he's not as bad.
So I've had the opposite reaction where I feel like at this point I'm kind of just on the one hand I like that whenever Eleanor said and the dumbest person I've ever seen, and he's like, who's that or something, and I was like, okay.
But there's something about the way he delivers those stupid lines.
So dumb. Yeah,
is genuine. Do you know what I mean by that? We're he legitimately feels like a dumb bastard, not a person. Because a lot of times when someone's playing the dumb character, it's very hokey, and they're really laying it on thick. But I don't get that sense from him.
Okay.
He's hitting it nicely.
So I kind of got that sense because I like that they're all acknowledging how dumb he is. I liked that line that we're just talking about. That one worked for me. But in general, I've just been getting this vibe of why are you even here? Where he's where they're like, here, go blow bubbles. Here, go do something else or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I liked that there was a chart, and it's these 4 people are designed to perfectly torture each other in all these different ways, and I thought he would do, and there'd be something that would become clear to me about his role in this master plan, and now it's just no, nothing.
He's going to start growing cocaine.
There's still room. There's still room in the 3 seasons that are left or whatever. So this season's just getting started. Let's talk really quick.
But it almost feels like it's ending, even though it's just starting.
Yeah.
Something weird about.
So we have a strange structural thing, right? On the one hand, I'm really happy that we didn't spend, because remember, I was trying to predict, and I'm like, oh, that's the whole next season will just be and they just again, they have this attitude. I love the show's attitude of we know how good this is, we don't have to drag anything out. It's gonna take exactly this long, so we're done. But it's only been 4 episodes. Yeah, we're good. Move on to the next phase of the show. So they literally. The downside, though, is that it feels after the 3rd episode, right, the 4th episode will be the first episode of the season finally, right? This feels like a part 2 to last episode, where really all we did in the last 2 episodes was to fucking get on with it and put it all together and get ready to ship it out. So that's to your point. It feels we're okay, it's wrapped up and now it's time to start the next thing. This feels like a little 3-episode season, and now we're getting on to season 3, right? Yeah.
But I started on it earlier. It's a weird time to start this. Oh, okay, we're gonna make the deal. You're in on it now, because the characters haven't gone down their natural evolution path that we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like they will, based on some of the things we have here. Eleanor has already proven to be, I'm a good person. Look, see, I've sacrificed myself for the team, and the thing that I was gonna leave, but I'm staying, and this and that. So I'm okay, She's getting to where you want as a writer, but I don't think it was a natural progression.
Yeah, and So like I have like a personal complaint where I'm just not used to having to remember that a character's not the same character quite yet, anymore. So I hope that the writing just like forgets and makes them the same character, right?
I wonder.
But I was like, so we had this weird thing where like maybe Chidi and Tahani are soulmates, and like like maybe all these like different things, but like that didn't happen anymore, right?
Yeah.
And like who knows like what's happening now? And Michael even calls it out, which made it like worse for me. Where it's like, oh, that's right, you guys only know each other for a week this time. This is gonna be tough. Okay, here's the plan, and he like lays it out for them and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's right, they only know each other for a week. Like we don't have this same.
There's no
like,
bond.
We haven't gone to the medium place and did like we did, but not the same way. Like, this was a whole different.
That's what's so weird.
Involving Chowder.
Is that how certain ones happen so quick? Like,
yeah.
How long did it take to get to the medium place in the first timeline?
Like whatever, months
like
or
months
something.
or whatever. And then this one they did it in the first 3 days or so.
Yeah.
Like it seems like they are building off of knowledge of previous lives when that's not possible.
Right.
With how quick they are expediting the process.
I like the idea that like it's so hard and so complicated that like the first time they kind of got lucky. And they had some other ones that were long, but like it's like this super awkward thing where like anything could tip the house of cards over and like make it fail like so quick or whatever, right? During that montage where they were like just tearing through, where they get so frustrated, like how do you keep figuring this out? Gah! And they keep so like this time they might have introduced something to try to make it better, and it might have like made it so much worse and fall apart so quickly.
Maybe
that might be why Vicky's like, all right, you know what, we're done or something, right? And
I don't like Vicky very much, especially outside of her, real Eleanor character.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I care about her singing and dancing and running the place like a bitch.
Yeah, we're gonna see where that goes. I'm
going
to give it some more time.
Off constantly for their classes, which I'm like, okay.
Uh-oh, yeah. Are you like down now?
I don't know.
You seem worse than me. I was like, I hate to say it, but I'm a little concerned. And you're like,
this episode was, as far as I'm concerned, it was just okay. I won't say it was bad. It was just okay. It was like on the cusp of being able to hold my attention to not touch my phone or something.
That sounds very bad. What do you mean?
No.
Where's your threshold for that?
Well, my threshold is like where it would be a physical chore to watch it, and it's not. It's not a chore.
No. I mean, like, if I was gonna grab my phone, that means like, well, I take notes on my phone, but if I was gonna leave my note app, that's like a huge strike against something.
Well, I don't open a note app,
Yeah,
so like
I know.
my phone is always 1 second away from like Angry Birds or Clash of Clans. Or
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, do you use your phone a lot though? Is that what you're saying? Because like usually I'm like watching and taking notes, and if I even think about like what's going on with Twitter, that means like the show sucks. That means like there's a bad thing.
I have a very limited attention span as the millennials.
So
do,
you're
it
like
seems.
jump back and forth.
But yeah, like other things like
that's fine.
Fully keep my attention, and I'm like that's how like I notice if something's a good movie. If I didn't look at my phone once during a movie, I'm like that was really good.
So looking at your phone's normal for you. I'm just
It's not a gauge of this movie is dirty trash.
I'm just trying to
saying
understand.
that it's not holding my attention the same way.
I just wanted to get the like what does that statement actually mean for you? Because for me it would be like I'd be like, because I've said that before. Like I was on my phone, I'm like, I know, get on with it. Like that's when it's like, oh no, like Lee hated this movie or whatever. Yeah. I have some concerns. Before I forget, my favorite line might have been that stupid, I'm not that selfish, and then Bing, Janet's there, your cocaine and escape train are ready.
Yeah.
And he's like looking at her like, what the fuck? She's like, okay, fine. I just wish that cocaine and train didn't rhyme, because I wanted them to somehow make like that makes the sentence like not as good to me or something like that.
I immediately pictured that song.
Yeah, something about it. I'm like, I don't like that. But that was nice. Get me a train. And apparently you can just have Janet conjure drugs. Like
I guess you're in heaven, you deserve it.
Why has that not been a thing? And they could just be like, I will send a train back packed with cocaine if you do this for us, Mindy, or whatever. Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think, honestly, if I was in Eleanor's shoes, I'd probably flee to the medium place and just stay there forever, because fuck.
Right? Because you're like, what is this?
Assuming there's actually food there. There's no. I need to know what the system of, like, they don't have a Janet, but, like, what does she do to get things? Because she has things.
Yeah,
They're not the things she wants. They're, like, the medium version of the things. But, like, what are they?
They're the mildly unpleasant, but I guess I can live with it, but it's not making me happy version of everything. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I need to know more about that. I want there to be a whole episode describing exactly what it is. I want the person that built the medium place to know, like, how far could she go right or left? Like, what is there?
Like, yeah, like what is the size of it? How much territory is there? Can you go build a shack out of cocaine and just live on Mindy's property?
I wonder.
Then she'll slowly snort your house. I didn't. I'm just gonna change topics dramatically. No, like I don't know how I feel about the like this is a setup episode, right? It's like part 2 of the setup. I already went through all that. So now like we are discussing like what have they laid out for us, right? For some reason they're forcing Michael to join the classes, and I don't know how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I don't know if you maybe could have gotten that to happen more naturally and not as some sort of weird condition for the whole thing or something like that. I don't know.
I do the part I did like was toward the end when he's talking about how he wants like underground railroad to heaven, and I'm like, okay, you can political prisoner or seek asylum, whatever his thing is. I'm like, I like that. That's a little interesting to me. The idea that a future season might take place in heaven.
Oh God, what if they all end up there? That's pretty interesting. In the real good place. I returned this Janet and these 4 souls, huh? Something, and they're like, what?
And then, we were right. It is all yogurt.
And there's a part later where he just throws in, he says something about like, yes, we're going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Our plan is for this. I won't wipe your memories, and I'll join these classes. That's transparently insane, by the way. And then goes through something about the phrase, that's transparently insane. I was like, okay, that's pretty good. I like that he like is not on board with this whole thing.
Well, because why would he be?
I know, it's crazy.
Fundamentally, he's a demon, right? So like, what does ethics even mean to him? Anything?
I don't know how this world really works. We don't have the entire world built out for us or whatever, so
no.
I would have liked some weird thing where like he wants to monitor the classes to make sure whatever happens, and then he chimes in with like horrible demon advice, and then Chidi's like, Michael, you're not helping. Listen, this is how this works. And he goes, I never thought about that. And it's some weird thing where he ends up taking part in the class and being like into it, and they're all like, "Dude, what the hell?" And it becomes this whole weird thing or something.
Yeah, something about just at day 8, how they're all even together, all know everything about each other, and are entering the classes all together, knowing that it is actually hell. It just seems like it's too fast.
Yeah, it seems weird. I'm not sure how this could have like happened or whatever. I guess I see because they showed us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't like
it just didn't do it in the way I would have liked.
And like I was like, it's fine. And then like the way they had Janet be like, I'm down for whatever kooky schemes you guys want to do, or
as you're the only humans here.
Right. That kind of like killed the whole thing for me in like a way. It didn't kill the whole thing for me, but it like put like a damper on the whole thing for me. Where I'm kind of like, oh, that's you could have just had her kept doing whatever she was doing. You didn't have to have them all like Team Cockroach and do this whole thing. It felt weird. I'm not as into it. So I'm concerned. I hope next episode the show just resumes and it's the same good old show and everything's fine.
We'll see. That's pretty much everything.
Are you optimistic about that happening?
I'm optimistic because it's gave me like so many episodes that I was like I really like these that you can have a dud and I'm not going to just drop you.
Yeah. And
it's lasted 2 more seasons after this, so it must
Well, and they're doing something really ambitious and interesting here, right? To have this kind of giant twist and then to like recover and then inject all this stuff and then set us off on this different path.
It does seem like a potential recipe to get your show canceled. And they did do it. So I'm like, all right, well, it worked, I guess.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I understand maybe, like, there's no precedent for how do we elegantly, like, do this. Like, how many episodes can we, stand putting the audience through something that's going to be reset? Like, we have to get back to, like, normal. How do we do that? What do we do? And, like, figure out the flow of it. So, I think they did, like, a pretty good job. I'm just saying, like, some of the stuff that we've called out is making me, like, I hope this is okay.
I think, and I liked a couple of those, like, quick snap resets, but I think if I was going to start this season again, I might be, like, 8 months later or something like they've are pretty much at the exact point they were at. But we now are starting this twist.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, would you wait for them to find all this out that many months later, you think?
Maybe,
or what do you think?
I don't know. It's hard to say, and mainly they might just skirt all my qualms about the thing, where they might just all be like, oh no, they're all exactly who they were, only with no prompting.
With no ability for them to have possibly been those people. I imagine they will, but like how easy would that be to fix? Let's walk through that, right? It opens up with Vicky
Tyler Card 8 months later would have been all you needed.
Well, no, but like Vicky can like call him out and he's like, Vicky, this is the closest we've come to the original good run. All the elements are in place, everything's going really well. Why are you doing this now? And she's like, whatever, right? And like, it's been a while. style, and you just have that dropped in to kind of hint at the fact that we have recreated the original thing as best we can here. This is no time to do this. And she's like, no, Michael, I've had enough. And it's this whole stupid thing, right? Just to make the audience feel like, okay, so even though everything was crazy and I spent a week of my life worried that these characters will never be the same characters ever again, you're now just saying that they are kind of, right? Just make me feel that way. Because you're right. Now it's going to be like, well, it's day 8. Why are you saying, stuff, like as if you've known each other for years? And
maybe I've just forgotten things and stuff about the past two episodes. It just seems like such a. Why are things so shockingly different all the time? I know things are changing, but I feel like, John, you should still be silent at this point.
Well, because the cat's out of the bag. So
what I'm saying, though, is that the cat got out of the bag too early, and it shouldn't have gotten out of the bag. Like,
like we never really lived through something where it was instantly apparent that it was the bad place.
Yeah.
Because this all happened after, like, a few days. Like, they kind of showed us in, like, episodes 1 and 2, I think there was some weird stuff where people, like, were, like, suspicious, but not quite. It's not ideal. It's, like, unusually not perfect for a show that was knocking a lot of stuff out of the park. So... yeah, we need to see where it goes from here.
We'll enter this cautiously optimistic. We'll see what the next episode brings. That was this episode, guys. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.